to another episode of the Total R&B podcast. My name is Lorena, and today I have Rebecca Sichon on, and she is from Kelowna, BC, and she is a part of the 2024 cohort for Honey Jam. And we're also going to get into her single that she put out this June called Right Here. So let's get into all the things. Welcome to Total R&B, Rebecca. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
No, of course. Thank you for taking time out of your day to speak with me today. I'm really excited. I've been following your career for a little bit because I know you've been a part of like Canadian Music Week, and that's something I've been a part of as well. So I recognize who you
Cool.
are and your music, and so it's great to finally talk to you. So what I always do when I start out the podcast, I always ask the same question, and it's what comes to mind when I say, "What is your first memory of R&B music?"
Ooh, that's a good question. I guess I kind of have an interesting sort of upbringing in music, where I actually grew up listening to a lot of jazz, and that was like one of my first, inspirations. And I guess when I was about 12 years old, I heard JoJo,
Mhm.
her song Heels, which is so random, but I remember hearing it and I was like, this is like so empowering. There's something about this that is so cool. Or like Jasmine Sullivan. Like there was just these like artists that were popping up around when I was around 12 and I was like, this feels good. This feels cool. So that was kind of my first introduction to R&B, but it started way back in like sort of the jazz, soul, blues sort of genres that were really like just pounded into me when I was really young. So it kind of just went off from there. Yeah.
So that's different too, to be so young and to be like just to connect to jazz music. Because
Mm,
I find a lot of people don't maybe connect to it all the time when they're younger. It's something like they grow into, they start off
right.
with something else, and then eventually they discover and really appreciate jazz music. So how did that happen for you at such a young age? And who are the like
Yeah.
artists that you really connected with?
Yeah. So I honestly, I have to give total credit to my father, who's an incredible musician. So he's like a multi-instrumentalist. He plays everything and he just had such a love for music his entire life. And so when I was born into this very musical family, it was like immediately I was put into lessons and just was shown all this music. And my parents are also fully Ukrainian, and so I am too. And so growing up, it wasn't really like I wasn't listening to a lot of Canadian music. It wasn't listening to a lot of North American style. It was like they were showing me more like a lot of Ukrainian music, a lot of classical, and then a lot of jazz, and like specifically Ella Fitzgerald, Nina Simone, like just these incredible artists. And I remember like my father showed me one of Ella's videos. It was Airmail Special. It's like
Okay.
this crazy scat, amazing video that's only you can only find it on YouTube. And I remember just being so fascinated by it. And I thought it'd be so fun to just learn the entire thing. So I was like 8 years old, just doing this very crazy, elaborate scat song by Ella. And so I guess I loved the complexity of jazz and where you could take it. And Ella's just absolutely incredible. So I think I felt very inspired by her. And again, it was just because I was introduced so early on and I saw the way my parents appreciated it. So I was like, oh, I like this, so I got into it as well.
That is so cool, and I love that
Yeah.
you were put in like you're from a musical family, but like they really showed you like the classics and they didn't stick
Mhm.
to just one genre. So I have
Yeah.
no clue who is like big in Ukraine. So let us know some like Ukraine artists maybe that your parents had put you in.
Honestly, I don't even know if I could tell you. I think the coolest, like the more Ukrainian thing that I did was growing up, my dad would have all these chord sheets to like traditional Ukrainian songs, like Roman gypsy songs, these crazy songs in these different languages. And I grew up learning those. So it was like my dad would be playing them and I'd be singing along. And he's a touring and recording musician and he mainly works in schools now, but he'd bring me on to shows and I would just be singing these like Roman gypsy songs at the age of like 9 years old and just so odd. But it was more so like that sort of approach versus like Ukrainian artists, which I wish I got into more, but yeah, it was kind of a different approach.
No, but that's really interesting, and I think it's something that a lot of different people do, 'cause I was speaking to, Phoenix Pagliacci, that's who I
Oh,
was
yeah, yeah.
yes, and she was telling me when she was younger, she was in, like, a group with her family, and so they would sing, like,
Mm.
different, like, songs from Jamaica, and it's not, like, big songs from
Whoa.
artists and stuff like that, it's more like, you know, from just their culture, so she grew up
Right,
doing that, so I think that's so
right.
cool that parents
Wow.
are instilling that into their children too, especially the ones that are
Yeah,
showing, like, a love for music or interest in music. That is so
absolutely.
cool.
Yeah, it definitely built a foundation for the love of music and, like, it's definitely sort of trickled in into my genre now, and I take so much, like, influence from it, so it's definitely a cool I'm very grateful for it, very, very grateful that my parents sort of almost forced me into music. I'm pretty grateful for it, so now I am, I should say.
So when did you want to do this as, like, a career? When did that happen?
Honestly, forever. Like, I remember being about 4 or 5 years old, and I was just, like, singing for, like, a summer camp sort of
Mhm,
thing, and they got me to sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and I remember just loving being on stage and, like, singing for people, and I always, like at any family gatherings, it was, "Rebecca, come sing," and I remember, like, some of my biggest idols growing up were, like, Britney Spears, Demi Lovato, like, just these, like, Disney Channel type or I guess Britney isn't Disney Channel, but Hannah Montana, but anyway,
mhm.
I would see the way that they would perform, and I always remember just being like, "I wanna be a pop star, that's what I want." So it's always kind of been the dream, it's always been the career, but I didn't start, like, pushing and gunning forward in terms of the business and all of the other components that come with it until I moved to Vancouver right out of high school, which was about 2020. Yeah, during the pandemic.
Wow.
I had sort of pushed before, but it was very much this like, okay, now I need to like make money to eat, make money to live, and I also want to, do my build this career, make it really happen. So that was probably the first time that I was like, this is I have no plan B, essentially.
So through all that, now you are a part of Honey Jam, which
Yeah,
is like an iconic program that's been around for 29 years. So next year they're going to be celebrating 30 years. And like
crazy.
it's a great program from what I hear from, like, different artists who's been a part of it. So, basically, it's like a community and it's a platform for emerging female artists to, like, showcase their talent and also learn about the business and have different opportunities while creating
Yeah,
community for you all. And there's been, like, incredible people associated with Honey Jam, like Nelly Furtado,
yeah.
Julie Black, and Melanie Fiona. So, like, what made you decide that you want to audition to be a part of Honey Jam?
Yeah, I mean, I've known about Honey Jam for quite a few years now, and I've had a lot of friends that have been a part of it and have spoken so highly of it. So I've always sort of it's always been on my radar, but it wasn't until this past year I was going out to Toronto a lot, and I guess there's just a moment where I was like, okay, I think I'm ready for it. I'm ready to try auditioning, see if it works out. And so I booked a trip the time that there was the auditions, and I came out and just, tried out and got in, and it was crazy, and yeah, I feel very, very fortunate, very excited about it.
So how did you feel when you got that, like, notice that you're a part of the cohort for this year?
I was so excited. I immediately just, like, texted my mom, texted my dad. I was like, "I got in," and told all my friends that had gone into it in the past, like, artists such as, like, Juliana Jones and such. I've known them for quite a while, so I was like, "I got in," and it was very exciting. It was, like, very validating, I think, too, because I'd, put so much into my career up until this point and gone to Toronto a lot, and that's a market I've been really focusing on this past year. So to be, seen and recognized by a emerging mentorship program that is like s- generally based in Toronto and has a lot of Toronto talent, I just felt very, very validated, honestly.
That's amazing. Well, congratulations,
Thank
because you
you.
made it, and I got to, be at the pop-up in Montreal, so I got to see, like,
Oh
that
yeah,
audition
cool.
process, and I was so excited for all of, like, the ladies that came in to audition, but what I did love was just the, like, community that it created. A lot of people didn't know each
Yeah,
other, some did, but everybody was very welcoming, and
Yeah.
I love to see that. So, what are you most excited about with Honey Jam?
I think first off, the community. It has been hard for me to like physically be there in person because I am on the other side of the country, but there's already just this incredible community that's already been built. And I think like, especially as women, it's so important for us to have like girls and the girls that are, there for you. And like, we're here to build each other up. And a lot of the genres are kind of in the R&B world. And like if I'm ever looking for collaborators or just friends or like people, I'm so excited about that community that's been built. And then as well as just like all these amazing opportunities. And I've been sort of keeping up with the videos and such and things that have been posted when I can't be there. But I'm very excited about the show that's coming up on August 29th that I'm really stoked about. And I watched all the auditions in Toronto, but there's a couple people that I've not seen sing. So I'm really excited to sort of be there and like fully be present and be with all these people that I've sort of built these connections with online.
Definitely. No, that is exciting. And I just love that, there's just this build up to the showcase that's
Yeah.
happening that so many people know about because it's legendary. So are you
Yeah.
nervous about that a little bit, or no, you're like
A
ready?
little bit. I'm doing a song that I've performed quite a bit, but I'm doing it in like a very different way, like with a full band and stuff. So I think it, I probably am a little nervous. I think I haven't really fully like realized that it's happening. So I'm just sort of like get to Toronto and then go day by day. But I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous, I think, because there's so much talent in the room and there's so much almost pressure because it's one song and it's like you got one chance sort of thing to showcase what you got. But I'm excited. I feel ready for it.
No, definitely. You should feel excited because, you worked hard throughout your whole life
Mhm.
basically to get to this point. So it's a
Yeah.
spot that you definitely deserve. So I think it's going to be
Thank
great.
you.
And so I'm excited to see what happens at the showcase and everything that they have like they're putting together. So I think that's
Right.
super dope. I also want to talk about your music because in June you did release a single called Right
Mhm.
Here, and
Yeah.
it was produced by Earl Powell, who is
Yeah.
recognized from the Grammys, Billboard, Gold Records, like worked with Jennifer Hudson, like a lot.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So let me know, how did you two connect to make this song?
Yeah, so I had a previous manager, Gary Taylor, and we worked together for a few years. And during that time, I was kind of coming out of this sort of phase of my life where I guess because I started music so early and I started writing when I was about 11, I sort of put myself immediately in this pop box. I put myself in this box and I was like, I write pop music, I sing pop music, but then deep down it was always this very big love for R&B, soul, jazz, like these beautiful genres. And so I'd expressed this to Gary and I told him, I really want to start working with more R&B producers. Like I really want to try pivoting into a direction that feels very authentic and just trying it out, I guess. Because at that point I was putting out a lot of pop and it was being received pretty well, but it didn't feel quite 100% me. And so I told him that, and he's like, "Well, I know someone down in LA. He's worked with CMW a lot. He's a great guy. How about you guys just get on a video chat and, see what happens?" And so we got onto a video call and I met Earl and he loved my vibe and he's like, "Well, let me send you a couple songs. Let me like tell me what you're sort of trying to write about and I'll send you some tracks and then you can write to it and then, you'll come down to LA." So that's exactly what happened. He sent me 3 songs. I picked one that I really liked and I wrote a quick verse and a chorus and sent over a demo and he's like, "This is great, keep going." So I finished the whole song in a couple days and then
Wow.
3 days later I was down in LA recording it and it was just this crazy like super quick sort of turnaround, but it was super fun. And when in LA it was like a 6-hour recording session and whatnot. So it was just a total dream. It was pretty crazy.
Did you learn anything new about yourself during that process? Because, you're doing something that you really wanted to do deep down inside instead of
Right.
doing maybe something that people thought you should do.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I think it was cool sort of doing very much an R&B song. Like the song is really sort of like a 2000s inspired
Mhm.
R&B, like Destiny's Child, Alicia Keys, and those are also artists that I looked up to forever. So it was just cool to sort of try that out. I think I did also learn that that is like something I love doing, the R&B, but I'm also like, oh, I actually love doing more things in that world as well. Like it wasn't like the end. It wasn't the end of the genre exploration. It was just the start, but it was so important for me to try that out and go down to LA and work with someone that I'd never worked with before. Like, it just, the entire experience as a whole was so awesome and just really cool to also, again, like, work with a producer that I've never worked with. The process was very different, and I was like, maybe this is the R&B world process, like, I don't know, but it was really cool. It was really cool. I definitely learned a lot.
Oh, that is so dope. So then I want to get some advice from you. So two things.
Sure.
So for an artist, because a lot of times a lot of artists are unsure of themselves and what they're
Hmm.
doing, because it's a growing process. You're changing all the time and figuring out who you are. So any artist that's coming up, what advice would you give to them so that they feel more empowered to be authentically themselves?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm still definitely on this journey as well, but something that I've learned in the past few years, really trying to hone in on what feels good. I think my biggest advice is look for what feels good to perform and what to sing and what feels like, what ignites the excitement about music, or like, where did you start? Like, almost just outlining like where it all began, and you might find the most answers at the start, which is kind of funny. And yeah, I think that would be my biggest piece of advice that I also take for myself, so
No, I love this, and I love that you're still on that journey, but I feel like while you're on that journey, you can still share that information because there's so many
Right.
people that are going through the same thing and asking themselves the same questions. So I
Yeah.
think that's dope. And then another thing for Honey Jam too, because there's so many artists that like will want to audition for things, but will talk themselves
Mhm.
out of it or not
Right.
sure if they should do it. So like what advice would you give to someone who's thinking about auditioning for Honey Jam in the future?
Do it. Honestly, and I say that, like, even as scared as you may be, I have done so many auditions where it's been no's, so many rejections, but without, the hundreds of no's, I wouldn't have got the one yes at Honey Jam. So if Honey Jam this time is a no, it'll be a yes one day. And I think it's just the matter of experiencing it and getting up there and facing your fears and just trying out, because you have no idea what's going to happen. And no matter what, it's going to, teach you something. So just try it, do it, believe in yourself, have fun. It's a short 1 minute audition. It's
Mhm.
terrifying, but you got this. Yeah.
No, that's amazing, and yeah, I was so surprised when, like, I heard it was just, like, 1 minute. I was just like, "Oh my gosh, that's so
That's like the
short."
scariest part. I
Yeah.
was more scared that I'd go over, that it'd be too long. I was like, I don't know how long my audition is, but I like timing it a million times. But yeah, that it's short, but it's great. You get it over with, but it feels like the longest minute in the
Yeah,
world.
no,
But
but that's what I was gonna say too, because I just see what, like, everyone's capable of doing in just 1 minute.
right.
I was so, like, surprised and like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing." Like, that was just
Yeah.
1 minute, and we got,
Yeah.
like, so much from that 1-minute audition.
Right.
I think it's super cool. So, thank
Yeah.
you for that advice. So let us know too, like, where can we sign up for tickets? Where is it gonna be? The date of the showcase and all that information.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's August 29th in Toronto. I couldn't tell you the exact address. I'm not quite a Toronto local. However,
We'll put it on there
yeah.
somewhere on the
Yeah,
bottom.
and, I believe that tickets are quite limited. That's what I've been told. Tickets are limited, but they can be found on at honeyjam.com, I believe. And, yeah, it's gonna be super fun. I know that there's, like, everyone's performing a song, and it'll just be a great way to sort of showcase some talent. So, I guess if anyone watching this is interested in being part of Honey Jam, I highly encourage you to come out and just sort of meet the crew, meet Ebony, meet the people that are sort of putting it on, and be able to sort of get the vibe for what it feels like, because it's such a cool community. It really is. And I think once people are in the room, they'll be like, "Oh, yeah, this is something I would love to be a part of."
That is so true because everybody is super friendly, which is great. So
Yeah.
I love that. So, yeah, totally agree with you. Definitely get your tickets. If the tickets are limited, you might want to hurry up and get them now
Yeah.
because I'm
Yep.
pretty sure the tickets are going to go like really quickly. So, that
Yeah.
is good to know. I just want to play a quick game. I'm going to
Mhm.
ask you what song I'm try and keep it R&B, but if you can't, it's fine. I'm
'Kay.
gonna put out some moods and you let me know which song you would pick.
Ooh,
All
okay,
right?
okay.
So the first one is what song always puts you in a good mood?
Ooh, I am a big fan of Yebba, so I have to say October Sky by
Okay.
Yebba. Love.
Perfect. Okay, so what song would you listen to on a rainy day?
Ooh, this is a good one. Hmm. Oh, I keep thinking Yeba. I'm gonna say My Mind, the
Okay,
classic. Yeah.
my mind, definitely. What's a song you would play when in love?
Ooh, this is sweet. Um, I'm like trying to go back into my catalog of all the songs. Hmm. I'm gonna pull up my Spotify playlist real
Go
quick. I
ahead.
think I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
need to do that
yeah.
because I
Def
actually have like a love playlist, and I think there's
Oh, I
definitely
love
some good ones
that.
on there. Yeah, I feel like there's just so much incredible music out
Mhm.
there that it's almost like overwhelming thinking about all the different
Different
things.
songs, yeah.
Yeah, holy smokes. I would say, honestly, Kalani's Honey. That one is
Ooh,
such a
yeah.
sweet one. Or Gonna Love Me by Tiana Taylor. That
Mhm.
is, yeah, yeah, that's probably a classic love song, actually.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So now we're gonna go the opposite. What is
Okay.
the song you would play during a breakup?
Oh,
You need to
think
get
of
through
what
the
I have
breakup.
played.
What song would
Yeah.
you play?
Oh my gosh, that's a great song, great question. Anything that would make me cry, I'm trying to think. Oh, that's tricky. I'm like, I have so many
Mhm.
like happy R&B songs. The first song that came to mind was JoJo's "Get Out." What was that? What's the
Yeah,
name of that one?
I think it's
Get Out,
Get Out
Get
or yeah,
Out, Get
yeah.
Out. I
No,
have to say
that's a
that one.
good
Just
one
anger.
too.
It just like fuels the anger. Yeah.
Exactly. It's you're going through the emotions, so that
Yeah.
definitely will make it into a breakup playlist.
Yeah.
Definitely. What is a song this could be like any song too. What is a song that
Mm.
you think has the best lyrics that you wish you wrote?
Oh, whoa. Oh, that's a good one. Actually, Yeba does a cover
Mhm.
of one of John Mayer's songs,
Okay.
and it's called, I'll tell you right now, it is called The Age of Worry. Yeah, John Mayer's Age of Worry, and she does a live cover of it at Electric Lady, and
Oh,
it's
wow.
just brilliant. Like I hadn't even heard John's version before I
Mhm.
heard Yeba's, and I was like, these lyrics, like the story, and it's just yeah, Age of Worry. The Age of Worry. It's
Who has
fantastic.
the
It's
best
so current.
version? Is it Yeba or John Mayer?
I am so biased. I love Yeba so much, and that is one of my favorite songs that she ever sings, and I don't it's very she sings it similarly to John, like, she didn't
Okay.
change it up too much, but her voice, just the way that she carries it, and it's also live, the version that she has on Spotify, so I gotta say Yeba, but, I mean, all props to John, that's his, his words, so
No, of
incredible
course.
song.
Of
Yeah.
course. No, but I started to notice that because I think it was, who was it? Because I saw it on Instagram. So, oh, Luther
Yeah.
Vandross, a lot of his
Oh,
songs
yeah.
are remakes. So,
Oh,
I didn't know that. So then
cool.
I went down a rabbit hole of listening to the original and then the remake,
Yeah.
and his song
Interesting.
was very, like, I was choosing his and not the originals.
And maybe it's, like, the first time you hear it too, you just get, like, attached to a certain version or
Mhm.
whatnot. I mean, yeah, but I get that, I totally get that.
Yeah. No, definitely. Okay, and then 2 more. So, what is a song more people should know about?
Ooh, oh, that's a good question. Oh, these are fantastic. I'm noticing now I'm not very good at, like, thinking on the fly in terms of songs. I
No,
feel like
these
I've
are it's hard to think when you do those, like, rapid fire things, it's really hard.
yeah.
'Cause if you were to ask me these things, I'd be like,
Oh,
I don't know."
yeah, right? Oh my goodness. Oh, like a specific song, 'cause I'm thinking most songs that I
Or maybe
know
an
actually,
artist that maybe not a
I do have a song. Maybe she's bigger than I'm realizing, but, Sasha Keeble. I came across Sasha Keeble, and she has this song called "Hold Up." And it's really
okay.
cool. It's like funky R&B. There's like yeah, it's like attitude. I love, like, songs with attitude. I'm a big Amy Winehouse fan. I didn't mention that, but, so anything with, like and she's a Brit too, so it's just, like, the attitude is just so there, and yeah, it's called "Hold Up" by Sasha Keeble.
Okay, so we have to check that out. I didn't know that song, so
Cool, yay.
I'm gonna have to look it up after this. And then the last song, what's a song you play that reminds you of summer?
Ooh, hmm, that's a very good question. I almost want to say like my own, but
You can?
maybe not.
Yeah.
I guess my or okay, either Right Here by Rebecca Sichon or Maida. She's an artist I'm also loving.
Yeah.
She just released a project with Kaytranada,
Mhm.
and her song Endless Night is like so summery, like windows down, you know, just driving on the highway, summer nights, totally.
Okay.
That whole project is amazing.
No, the
Yeah.
whole project is really good, but I like that you said "Right Here" by you. That is also a good pick for the summer, so I love that. So thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for playing and creating your playlist or soundtrack with me. I do appreciate that.
Thank you.
So last thing, let everybody know how they can follow you, keep up with you, and also listen to Right Here.
Yeah, awesome. So you can find me at Rebecca Sichon everywhere. Last name is spelled Sichon. I'm on all the social platforms. Got a website. You can listen to my music practically anywhere you listen to music. And Right Here is on all the streaming platforms as well. And I should also mention I've got a new single coming out August 23rd, so very close to the Honey Jam show. And the song's called Paradigm. And I have yet to officially announce it publicly. So if you're hearing this, you now know Paradigm's coming out. It's coming out.
Okay, I love that. So we're excited for Paradigm, but for now, we are definitely going to keep streaming Right Here. And
Thank you.
also we're going to follow you, support you. Anything you need from us, let us know. We're always here to support artists in the
Thank you.
R&B space, and especially from Canada because it is not easy over here. So
True.
definitely
True.
reach out if ever you need anything. But thank you so much for taking time out.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No,
Thank
of
you. This is
course.
so much fun.
Thank you. And I love this. I hope to speak to you again. And I can't wait to see you on August 29th with Honey Jam, the showcase. So definitely get your tickets if you have not
Yeah.
before.
Get them quick. Get them quick. Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. Well, thank you so
Oh,
much. I appreciate it.
of course. And this is the Total R&B podcast. Again, my name is Lorena, and I will be back with a brand new interview.